95.9 The Ranch, your home for 24/7 Texas music, just got bigger. Listen on air all over the Metroplex and online anywhere in the world at 959theranch.com.
Welcome back to Lone Star Roads, brought to you by the Credit Union of Texas. Justin Frizzell hanging out right here on the couch. Say hello to John David Kent, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, fella.
What's up?
Hey, man. Good to see you.
Great to see you too, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Look what I got in my hand right here. It's the brand new record just out this week, Before the Sun Comes Up, from John David Kent. And, all right, I got a theory on the record.
Okay.
I've listened to it front to back three times.
All right.
And I can't not get this theory out of my head. So you can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Okay.
First question I have.
Okay.
Who's the girl in Country Twang?
Who's the girl in Country Twang?
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit cleaner of a version than my girl.
Okay. My
know?
theory is you spend the next 4 to 5 songs chasing the Country Twang girl down.
You pretty much nailed it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wanted it. I wanted the artwork and the album to sort of feel like a story, not in the way a concept album's put together, but I wanted it to feel like, like it was a series of events in chronological order, and that's kind of what we did with the insert on the artwork. It just sort of shows a night and how it happens and how the night unfolds, and we end up together. Not to give away the ending.
Don't give us the Cliff Notes version. You got to go out and buy the whole thing, listen to the whole thing. So, but it really is a good record, top to bottom, man. Congratulations on the brand new one. John David Kent is the website. Looks just like that right there. It's called Before the Sun Comes Up, and of course it does have the girl.
It does have the girl
right there on the inside. Who is this?
Her name is Taylor, and she lives in Austin.
That is your wife?
No, it's not my wife. It's just.
Who is this?
She just our stylist found her, and she fit the part and fit the role, but she did a good job, looking pretty.
That is correct. Yes, she did. Well, My Girl, the video, that also was not your wife.
No, and it wasn't. And there's a really funny story about that. My wife is in the video, and my wife is actually, you could barely see her, but she's actually in the album artwork as well. But when we were making the My Girl video, we had a crowd scene because it was shot at a bar. And for some reason, they put my wife on the very front row, right in front of the stage.
Okay.
So at some point, the My Girl, which is actually Granger Smith's wife, Amber, she comes, and it's like parting of the Red Sea. She comes right in the crowd, and she ends up right next to my wife. And so I'm looking down, having to make, puppy dog eyes while my wife's right there. But I can't look at her. I got to look at the My Girl. But you don't do it just one time. It's not like I had, a minute of being uncomfortable and then we moved on to something else. You shoot the video, you play the song over and over and over, and each scene you just keep doing over and over. So for probably 30 minutes, I'm like feeling my wife's eyes staring a hole in me while I'm having to act. But it's acting, So.
Oh, absolutely it is. But let me this is me and you talking here for a minute. You used Amber and My Girl, and now Taylor with this one. I'm just saying, if you live to see the sun come up, and you get a chance to make a third record, you might want to include your wife just a little bit more.
Yeah, I know, man. That was a rough process having to pick out the pictures for that, because I had to relive the experience, the uncomfortableness that went down on the My Girl set with this album artwork, because we're looking through 500, 700 photos, and there was some photos that were definitely uncomfortable to sit down at the kitchen table with the family.
Right.
There's
just no way to get around it.
No,
you just knew you were going to be in the doghouse for a while.
I knew it, but that's what you do for good art.
Right. Exactly.
Or something.
The other half of the CD, at least as far as the artwork is concerned, and even a song on here, "Free to Drive," is about the car.
It is, man.
This is not the car.
It's not the car that I
guess you would call it a replica, maybe.
Yeah.
Tell me about the car.
Well, the car was, my parents had it when they married, and then they sold it when they had me because they needed a more practical car. But when I turned 16, the car was going to be up for sale again from the people that they sold it to, 16 years before that.
Right.
And my dad made the mistake of telling me about it. Right? He should have just never brought it up, but he told me about it. He got me all fired up and got me excited. Yeah, I'm gonna have a cool first car. Everybody wants a cool car for their first car.
Right.
And he ended up not buying it for me, and it was probably a good thing, at the time. But it broke my heart, and I wanted it really bad. And I ended up getting a hand-me-down 1986 Chevy S10 from my grandfather, which was like the opposite of cool,
I had a 1984 Chevy Silverado, two-tone, blue and white, and the passenger side door was a little bit lighter blue than the rest of the truck because when you back out of the garage, you got to be real careful. Found that out the hard way, and I was never so happy to get rid of that truck, but I would really like to have it back now, man.
I know, I feel the same way. I would pay good money to have a 1986 Chevy S10 again. But yeah, that's what that song's about, and in particular, it's everybody remembers their first car, whether it was a piece of junk or the coolest thing on the block.
Right.
You remember your first car, and there's, you get your license, and just it's so liberating, and it's just it's a form of freedom to be able to take yourself or your friends or whatever. And a lot of the songs on this album were actually sort of written from that perspective, and they were written from that time in my life. Because you just go through so many things for the first time. You usually fall in love for the first time, and so you have that, and you get your heart broken, so you have your first heartbreak. And there's just something really special about the time you spend with your friends, and especially during the summer.
All kinds of good memories.
Yeah, and so
first nip of that Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill wine.
Oh yeah, all those things.
First time you're leaning out of that car window, giving it back to Mother Earth.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. I guess I was feeling kind of nostalgic or whatever you want to call it, but I kept going back to that place when I was writing a lot of these songs. So.
Well, the other thing about the album, third and final thing, is you kick it into high gear. Right from country twang. I mean, it's right into fifth gear, and you don't slow down at all, really, until maybe 5 or 6 songs in.
Well, I appreciate it. That's what we wanted it to.
It's a driving record, man.
It is. I appreciate you saying that. I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a lighthearted, upbeat, feel-good kind of album. And you mentioned the first song, Country Twang. It's a little different from any song we had on the last album. Right. And we just kind of wanted it to be right out there and not sugarcoat it and not hide it. First song right out of the gate. It's, this is what you can expect, I guess.
It's a great record. It's out this week. Congratulations again, buddy. Before the sun comes up, John David Kent, JohnDavidKent.com. Would you sign my table and then grab your guitar and play us a few from it?
I would be honored to do that, sir.
Sweet. John David Kent, when we come back, you're watching Lone Star Road. Y'all hang in there.